The last time Washington won a wild card game, won a playoff game, was 2005 here. Chance to do it with Gonzalez. From 37 to send Washington to the Final Eight. The Washington Commanders off the upright, and it is in! They doink their way to the divisional round! Unbelievable!
I have seen it all now. I even get a divisional doink. I feel like every time I see a game-winning field goal, it's hitting an upright. Oh my gosh.
JD5, JD Smooth, Iceberg Slim, or the Slim Reaper. Even Fred Smoot calls him Jedi 5. Whatever you call him, he is the leader of the Commanders, and he is a huge reason why we just won our first playoff game and we're going on to the divisional rounds. I'm Sabrina, half of the Spikes and Heels team. Gwen is out, and if you don't know why, please look at the very short video that we released previously to this. But please, let's get into this Commanders win. The Commanders are on a 6-game winning streak as the time that I'm recording this. We won 5 in the regular season back to December 1st when we played the Titans, and 1 in the playoffs. And so we hope as Commander fans that we keep this win streak going. The city is just alive. It's so vibrant. It's so excited about this resurgence. We have not won a playoff game, or had not won one, since 2006. And so it had been 19 years. There have been so many younger fans that have said they have never even seen a playoff win. They don't know what to do. This is a new feeling for them. And so it's just so exciting to see everybody be excited about the team. It's been, oh my gosh, at least 19 years for me. But in terms of having that dominance and having that, sheer excitement, for me, it's gone way back to like the 91-92 season. So that shows y'all I'm old. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. So when this game that we played against the Buccaneers, the Commanders controlled the clock, the time of possession. I'm going to tell y'all the time right now, 35 minutes and 26 seconds to the Buccaneers 24 minutes. It's their lowest total time of possession all season long. This was a great time for that to happen. I heard a lot of fans were saying that the Buccaneers fans, the stadium staff, they were like overly confident, knowing that they were going to win the game, like before the game was starting and everything. And the Commanders fans and players and broadcasters were like, hey, wait a minute, we have not played this game yet. So I think their overconfidence kind of bit them in the butt a little bit. Jayden's QBR, okay, y'all, is at least 90% in every scenario. So whether it's 4th down, whether it's facing the blitz, whether it's 1st down, whatever the scenario, his QBR is like through the roof. And for a rookie, they say he's breaking so many records, y'all. Let me just tell y'all some of them. He is the first quarterback since Peyton Manning to have at least 3 games in the season with no turnovers and not having his team to punt whatsoever. Okay, and he's in good company when we're mentioning Peyton Manning. Jayden has also won 11 Rookie of the Week awards in one season, which is now a record for the entire NFL, not just for the Commanders, but for the entire league. The previous record was 10, and now it's 11, so way to go on that. He's on his way to Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year for this season. It's just a matter of time. It's just a formality at this point. The person who was kind of in the running with him, Bo Nix, is already out of the playoffs. Okay, so it's all about Jayden now. Jayden also has the Rookie Rushing Award for quarterbacks this season, beating out RG3, our previous quarterback. So that's only just a few of the awards and records that he's broken. There are so many more, and he's not done yet. I also want to mention that our boy Terry McLaurin, okay, he broke the Commanders/Redskins/football team reception record for wide receivers or for any position at 13. The previous record was 12. He got it in the last few seconds of our last regular season game. Terry McLaurin is now the single season reception leader for this franchise. Way to go, Terry. You deserve it. It's been a long time for you. This Commanders team is I feel like they're a team of destiny. I know I might be doing too much, y'all, but I feel like so many things have gone our way. So many things that previously didn't go our way are now going our way. Some of it is them being a team of destiny, but also I think that they're just led well. The leadership has changed. from the very top, and then it trickles on down to the coaches and then the quarterback and then all the other players. I just feel like this team is on the right track and we're just getting started. And when these lucky things just start happening our way, or these fortunate things start happening in our favor the way that they didn't used to, you know that things are going right. We won our last, 5 or 6 games on the last play of regulation consecutively, not just for the season cumulatively, but consecutively the last 5 or 6 games we went on the last play of regulation. And so when that happens and it goes your way and you win every time, especially on this winning streak, that's really saying something. And I love their attitude. They're not afraid of these other teams. They're not intimidated that the Lions are the #1 seed who we're about to play. They're not intimidated by them. They feel like their new motto is anytime, any place, anywhere, anybody, whatever it is. They're like, it don't matter. Okay? We're going to play our style of football. We're going to remember our brotherhood, and we're going to play to our strengths. We're not going to focus on what they're doing. And so I just love this team and what they're accomplishing. Now, you may have heard that the Dallas Cowboys have fired their coach, Mike McCarthy, after 5 seasons. Of those 5 seasons, McCarthy has made the playoffs 3 out of the 5, which is great, right? But they only won 1 game, no NFC championship appearances. So they've agreed to let him go, and they're on the search for a new coach, one of whom has been mentioned as Deion Sanders, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's take a look at this graphic that I'm about to show you right here. Take a look. Mike McCarthy and Mike Tomlin have had the same number of head coaching seasons, as you can see, same number of playoff appearances, and McCarthy has 1 more division title than Tomlin. But as you can see, Tomlin still has a job. Mike McCarthy does not. So the question is that fair? Do you think that Mike Tomlin should still be the coach of the Steelers, after this season? Because he makes the playoffs year after year. We've talked about before how he's never had a losing season, but yet does it count when you don't win a playoff game? They last won a playoff game in 2016. So it's like, does that count? Does that even count for being successful if you keep making the playoffs, but yet you don't go anywhere, you don't do anything? He does have 1 Super Bowl to his credit, Tomlin does, but it doesn't seem fair. Tomlin still has his job. McCarthy does not. They have pretty much the same resume. So what do you think? Should Tomlin be fired too? Should McCarthy have been fired at all? What do you think? Now, getting back to Deion Sanders, he has been a very hot coaching prospect for several teams, but particularly for the Cowboys. And, first of all, I can see him as the coach of the Cowboys. They are a very big, America's team and hype and all of that. And Coach Prime just brings a lot of attention with him. And so I can definitely see him as the coach of the Cowboys. Unfortunately, that means we would have to face him twice a year, right? But do you think he would be a good fit there? And also, Prime has said that he may not take a head coaching job in the NFL unless the team agrees to draft his son and to bring his sons along, rather. So he's putting already stipulations and conditions on the fact that if he's the coach, his sons are going to have to come with him. So some teams may agree to that, some may not. I can see Jerry agreeing to that. We'll see. As I'm taping this, no decision has been made. It's Thursday, 2 days before the divisional, the divisional playoff games. But who knows what the decision's going to be. I just don't know if I would agree to, we have to bring your sons for me to hire you. That's 2 separate things. Is that nepotism? Is that the definition of nepotism? Somebody put it in the comments. I don't know. And speaking of the Cowboys, I wanted to bring this up real quick. Gwen told me to mention to y'all that Dak Prescott, she said over and over again, when players get these big contracts, their play goes down the tubes. You know what I mean? They get injured, they don't play as hard, whatever. So with Dak's first few years in the league, he made like $4.9 million. He didn't miss any games. Since he's got his big contracts, he has made over $240 million. Okay, and he's missed about 25 games. So that lets me know that Gwen was right in what she was saying. It's like when these players get these big contracts, some of them, not all, lose that hunger. They lose that drive to, be the best because they done secured the bag. They have the money. And so it seems like with Dak, that's been the case ever since he's gotten these contracts. His play has not been the same. He has been out. He has been injured. He has been inconsistent at times. And so that does, prove her point to be true. A lot of money, talent, or drive goes down the window. Not all, but some. And now let's go to this next game that we're going to play against the Lions. I know that the team and the players, they're not scared, but I'm a little bit scared because I understand that these Lions are not to be played with, particularly on offense. It's going to be the battle of the Dans. Our coach is Dan Quinn. Their coach is Dan Campbell. They both kind of have that same kind of attitude, that same grizzly, no nonsense, fearless type of attitude. Both of them love going forward on fourth down. The punters are going to be on vacation, I bet, this week for both teams. And so it's going to be a real battle. Our fourth down conversion percentage is like 86%. And so, every time we go for it, we're going to make it, 5 out of the 6 times. So it's going to be either a shootout or it's going to be like a defensive battle of the wheels at certain points. So the average ticket price for the game at Ford Field, for the Lions and the Commanders, it's like $1,000, $1,005 or so as of today. So of course that means that there are tickets that are less expensive, more expensive, but the average is right at $1,000. That does not include either driving, gas or, plane fee. That does not include hotel. That does not include a stitch to eat. That does not include miscellaneous merchandise and fun and whatever. So if you go into this game, your pockets better be deep or you're going to be in debt, one or the other, because it's not cheap. So back to the fourth down thing. Dan Campbell, the Lions coach, has gone forward on fourth down more than any other coach in the league this year. Actually over the last few years. I believe this year we're second in that category. So we're going to see this this probably offensive battle of the wheels between these two teams. The Commanders have done everything they can this week to prepare. It's been a short week. We played on Sunday and then have to turn around and play on Saturday on the road. And so we've done everything we can. The team was practicing with crowd noise this week. To try and prepare for the noise in the dome that they're going to be facing. So it's going to be an interesting thing. I think they'll be as ready as they can be. They're going to give it all that they can, and I'm going to get to my picks in a minute. But if you're a Commanders fan of any length of time, I just want to, connect with you on this one right here. We understand how excited this city is. Every time I go out, I see Redskins gear. I see Commanders gear. I just see that burgundy and gold. I see people with that, I don't want to say pride, but with that feeling of honor that the team is doing well. They're representing us, and we want to connect with that. And it's not that we were fair weather fans or that we had gone anywhere. It's just that there was nothing to be excited about. So we were just kind of showing up out of loyalty. You know what I mean? But now we have something to get excited about. You see the flags and the clothes and just all the stuff. And we're just so excited. And so we cannot wait for this game on Saturday, win, lose, or draw. I feel like even if we lose, I feel like as long as we play competitively and show up, they have far exceeded anything that we could have imagined this year. But of course, if we could win, we would love that even better. So let's get to these game picks. I mean, that's the whole thing that we're looking forward to this weekend. The first game of the weekend is going to be on Saturday, 4:30 Eastern time. The Houston Texans at the Kansas City Mahomeses. Chiefs. I feel like the whole country is rooting for the Texans, with the exception of those Chiefs fans over there. I feel like everybody wants to see the Chiefs upset. I don't think it's going to happen. I feel like the Chiefs are well rested. I feel like they have, too much experience. They have the crowd and the home field advantage. I ain't going to lie to you. They got the refs a little bit. Okay. I feel like that's too much for a younger Texans team to overcome. I hope I'm wrong, but I do believe the Chiefs are going to win this game. So I picked the Chiefs, not because I want them to win, but because I think that they will. I'm going to save the Commanders game for last, okay? So I'm going to come back to that. That's the second game on Saturday. So let's go to the first game on Sunday. And that game features our NFC East counterpart, the Eagles, facing the Rams in Philadelphia at the Link. I think that's what they want to call it, the Link. And this game is a little tricky because I feel like, yes, the Eagles are the higher seed by just a little bit, but I do think that the Rams match up with them well. I've seen the Eagles every week. They tend to start a little slowly, and if you can put your foot on their necks early, they may have a problem. With that being said, I feel like the Eagles should win this game, but something tells me if Gwen was here, she's going to say that feeling is gas that you talk about. It's not no gas. It's a feeling of an upset. I feel like the Rams are going to beat the Eagles by 1 point up in Philadelphia. It's going to be close. It's not going to be no blowout, but I feel like the Eagles are going to get caught slipping, and the Rams are going to come in there a little bit hungrier, and they're going to win by 1 point. That's what I see. I said I was going to say the Commanders game for last, but actually I'm going to do ours next because the final game is a biggie, right? So I'm going to do the Lions and the Commanders up in Detroit, my home team since I was a kid, me and Gwen. And so here's the deal. Don't shoot me. Don't hate on me. Don't talk about me. Don't say I'm not no fan, because I am to the core, right? I hope that I am wrong. I hope that we can somehow pull it out and beat them because, of course, any given Sunday, of course, we got Jayden, and that man is a player. Hear me out. I feel like the Lions are going to edge us out. They have a very high-powered offense. They're at home. Their defense is a little hurt and suspect, but they're getting a couple of players back just in time for this game. I am a little bit concerned if our offensive line and our running backs can get it going on Saturday, I feel like we could stand a better chance. But if not. But wait, I just remembered something. The Lions defense is like ranked 31st against the run. So if our running backs can get it going, even just average, we might be able to catch them, but y'all, I don't know. I reluctantly, unfortunately, hesitatingly, am going to pick the Lions, but not because my heart is not with my team. I hope we can keep this run going. We are capable any given Sunday, but I have to be analytical and fair. So I'm going to pick the Detroit Lions. Prove me wrong, please. And the final game of the divisional round is going to be the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills Sunday evening, 6:30 Eastern in New York. Okay? This is going to be Lamar on one side, Josh Allen on the other, probably the top two candidates for MVP this season, right up there, top 2 or 3. So this is going to prove a whole heck of a lot. Gwen and I laughed earlier this season because we were saying, jokingly, oh, wouldn't it be nice if the Battle of the Beltway could be the Super Bowl this year? Well, we're 2 games away this weekend, and then the one after that from having the Battle of the Beltway. Do I think the Ravens are going to go up to Buffalo and beat the Bills? My gosh, once again, I would love for the DMV to be well represented in the championship round. I think they're going to fall short, but then I have to consider the fact that they have King Henry now. I have to consider the fact that they've been here before and they lost out, and so now they want it more. I'm arguing with myself. This is the time I wish Gwen was here so we could talk this thing out. I got to go with my instinct, though. She ain't here right now. I love her. I got to go with my gut. I think the Bills are going to edge them out. So I think the 2 teams I want at the Super Bowl might lose this week, y'all. I hope I'm wrong, especially about my Commanders, right? So I picked the Chiefs. I have picked the Rams on an upset for 1 point. I have picked the Bills, and I have unfortunately picked the Lions. Prove me wrong. Those are my picks for the NFL Divisional Playoffs this week. Let's see how I did in here. This has been a very strange experience for me. We started Spikes and Heels, my cousin Gwen and I, back in October of 2020. And so we're more than 4 years in, and we've done every show together. Even if we had other guests join us here and there, maybe 2 or 3 times, it's 95% of the time just been she and I. And so doing this show alone was very weird, very strange. And I look forward to her coming back and joining me. But for those of you who didn't see, Gwen is out because her mom passed away. And so she had battled a health scare for, over a year or so, health issue for about a year. And so she's out planning the services with her siblings and her family. And so it's just me for now. But look forward to Gwen coming back. And I can't wait to see how these games turn out. Join us next time. We're going to see how it goes, and we're going to talk the next time. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think. We love you. Gwen and I love you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.